Hello and welcome to this tutorial. For this tutorial I'll be going over the different interface, sort of comparing and contrasting the interfaces between Mac and the PC version. Pretty much everything is laid out the same between the two versions. The only differences are sort of where this command, all your command information is going to sit, and all this information for Mac that is usually over here has been moved down to the very bottom. So as you can see, we'll start there. You have sort of your information of where things are laid out on the grid, your X, Y, and Z axis. When you're in millimeters, what layer that you're currently selected. You also have your grid snap, your ortho, planar planes, and gumball, record history, and all that information. And right above that is your sort of guides that help you snap to things within the grid. So you have your end, near, your point, your midpoint, your center, your intersection, and all the other pieces that are there. And then what is normally, like this information is normally up here for the Mac version. The viewports are also down here. You also have a plus sign where you can add additional ones. So if you wanted to work from maybe like the left or something like that, then you could probably add that one on there. But the four that you normally will see, perspective, top, front, and right, are down here as well, when they're normally for the Mac version up here. And another good thing about the PC version is instead of having to go up to view and change your rendering settings within the viewport, you can just sort of double click here like you would in the Mac version as well. But then you can also click on this little drop down arrow and change it from that window, which is something the Mac version does not have. And to get out of this, you can always go, you can switch between your views this way, down here at the bottom. But to go back to your four views, you also have that button there, or you can simply just double click the perspective part again and it'll take you back. Or you can drop this down. Let's see, if you're back in this, you can go to restore and it'll take you back as well. So those are typically about the only differences. Everything else over here in your taskbar, your commands and things, those are all the same. This information up here where your different menus and different icons are sort of spread out in those as well. Those are pretty much all the same. And then your command, rather than having this area right here change once you input a command. So if I were to run sweep tool, it just keeps it up in this little text area up here. So that's the only differences, where as the Mac version, once you run your command, it'll bring up another menu and all your selections will be there. So you can do chain edges or select rail and whatever. So you just kind of have to read what's in these parentheses when you run these commands. So not much is different, but it is kind of a different look and change, and things are located in different areas. So it does take a little bit of time to get used to. But once you sort of know the layout of both of them, or get familiar with one of them towards your preference, you should be in good shape.